Hello, welcome back to another instalment. So, currently the Postal Posse storyline seems to be using a lot of symbols of Nordic runes, with a made up rune as their main logo for the Shadow Posties. There's speculations that one of these runes comes from the word you, and there are a few interesting meanings attached to it. Some sources suggest it means you are holding on to outdated beliefs and desires that you must release in order to see the new opportunities that await you. Do not resist change, for it connects you to the cycle of death and rebirth that holds your destiny. Could this be the rebirth of Boomtown, or the rebirth of society after the pandemic? The main storyline would suggest so. It fits very well. But then again, it's a bit like horoscopes where they're all designed to fit well with any situation. So I could be barking up the wrong tree. Now, trees. For those of you that have been playing a while, you remember the significance of the tree back in 2019. Perhaps this rune is a reference to that tree. Alternatively, and considering the idea that the postage missing photocopier is a portal, perhaps these runes are hinting towards Yggdrasil? I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But the Nordic sacred tree in Norse cosmology that encompasses all 9 worlds. On the Boomtown website it states that there are 8 districts. The usual 6 that we know and love, and then the 2 main stages. So what's the 9th? Well, in the middle of the city there's a large set of signposts, one of which points to the lands of Meridia. Now some of you will know Meridia already, but for those who don't, it's a fictional world which Wake the Tiger exists in. Wake the Tiger is an amusement park in Bristol created by the same parent company as Boomtown, and has some very similar stuff going on. Now, hello Bumblebee. Now, they're not officially connected, but I'm going to make some connections. Definitely jumping in at this point to say, absolutely go and check it out. You could spend hours wandering through all the rooms and getting lost in the wonderful world. And if you want to take your time, then I recommend giving yourself at least 4 hours to explore. Get an early booking in so you're not rushing around before they close. But yeah, Wake the Tiger is amazing. So back to the usual programming. Wake the Tiger has a very important tree and lots of links to mycelium. Of course, Iona is also a AI mycelium network underneath Boomtown. Could Meridia be the 9th world? Let's have a look at more links. The Costume Guild at Boomtown, run by Liz and Dave. They've been spotted at Wake the Tiger, the solstice events that they put on, and they've even been used in the posters. They tend to cosplay as the Asgard for Boomtown, so maybe this is a nod to the further links between the 2 worlds. Adding to this, there's a high chance they're far more involved in the storyline than they're letting on. I wouldn't be surprised if their hard-made trinkets have a part to play in future quests. And if you've been following the Costume Guild, then you've been seeing all of the Nordic references that Dave's been putting onto his costumes, so, one to watch. It seems like in the recent years there's been a huge shift in the feel of the storyline, reflected by Boomtown's new ethos. Guided meditation videos on their socials, and the staff talk about how the festival is about getting to know yourself and taking time to go deeper. This is shown in the closing ceremony, and Ellen indicates how we need to change the way in which we exist post-pandemic, as we don't have time anymore. In the meantime, Botanica is a fresh new interesting zone, and I've been looking into what might be going on there. Headline is that they love a bit of mycelium. It's noted in the audio message that Iona is a mycelium network, and the Temple of Zero Instapage is covered in fungi. There's loads of references to information being passed around this network. And this is something that happens in real life, as seen in BBC's Green Planet. Check out these gorgeous visuals. XNN Systems are the team behind the Temple of Zero, led by the wonderful Sophie Lee Henson. She's one of the cultists and was previously a worker for the One Corps back in 2019. Sophie has created an excellent website with some fun Easter eggs and puzzles akin to the old pre-COVID festival pre-game from Rogue Beacon that we all loved so dearly. Definitely go and check it out. I'll link it below. I think the link's been passed around. There's a new password bit that we all need to unlock. So definitely some cool stuff going on there. Have a root around. You'll love it, I promise. So if you explore the XNN Systems website, you might find some familiar looking projects. Most notably Dr. Leon Neural Enhancement. And that's got a very similar design to the Temple of Zero artwork and the tagline, "Be Better." Look at this video.
Dit doet de Leon beter, Chip. Be better.
Could the Temple of Zero cultists be linked to Metropolis and the Betterverse in some kind of Neuralink? Another X and Ends project, The Forest, looks at using humans as processing power for a network. Is this what's going on with Iona and the cultists, or possibly even all the citizens of Boomtown? Whatever the case, Sophie's projects are built on exploring mindfulness, which is a hugely important part of today's Boomtown. Talk of swans and signets pop up here and there with the tagline, "Swans often know the answers." This is in reference to an elitist group known as the Signets. They were formed in 2017 Paradise Heights and consisted of a mix of actors and punters. Mr. Bliss, the Croakers, and Megan playing as a postie were all involved, as was Mark Jefford's character Mark Jefford, who was running for mayor at the time, and the Boomtown Bandits. Megan described the group to me as an Illuminati-style crew running things from the shadows. Of course, if you've listened to the podcast, then you'll know all about it by now. But anyway, their pre-COVID plan was to destroy Amy and to build a big dome over Mayfair and Paradise Heights, and then wait for global warming to wipe everybody else out, leaving only the elites alive. Conflicting with the current storyline, the Bobbies were in on it, as was Rob Boggins. Interesting stuff. Yeah, lots of people around, lots of influential people getting in on this. So where does that leave us with the current ongoings? Is Ellen secretly working for the Bobbies, posing as a friend when she's really a foe? Are we all being spun a web of lies and really it's Iona that's our true saviour? If you listen closely to Brainwash FM in Botanica, you would hear of Iona's intentions to come back above ground and touch our hearts. While we're on the topic of cahoots, if you had a keen eye, then you would have noticed in the Daily Rag, Chapter 2, Edition 3, that Patrick Kahn ran an ad for himself to become mayor, misspelling his name in the process. This then advanced at the election party he threw with the Bobbies, Sopranos, Posties and Rich Goldman, where he was caught tampering with the votes. So now we have a mayor for just Let's Be Avenue who's seemingly elected and chosen himself. The Luck Exchange appears to be backing him on this. The even keener-eyed of you will notice that next to Patrick's ad is an article about missing memories in 404. It refers to a super kitty collecting them for the creator. Is this Kitty from Kitty and Tiggy, the new social account involved in the story build-up for Chapter 3? Are they going to be selling these memories at the Memory Mart? Who knows? It's been announced for this year that there will be a vote for the new mayor of Boomtown, with a candidate coming from each district. But if you've been following the pre-game in previous years, then you'll know that within each district there are multiple different factions, and they don't all stand behind the spokesperson of their district. This could mean that we're in for a smear campaign quest, and maybe some blackmailing across the town going on. At the same time, lots of cryptic messages are starting to appear on the socials, so it's a perfect time to be getting involved. I won't spoil anything that I found out pre-festival, as not to ruin the fun, but come and find me during the chaos, or come along to the storyline meetup. I'll be there. We can chat about storyline things, and I might give you some tips. Who knows? If you've listened to the latest podcast, then you'll hear a glitchy blip at the timestamp 2009. And given Mark's nature of having fingers in pies and being part of the secret conspiring groups of elites, then there's probably a good chance that he knows something we don't. Could 2009 be a reference to the year Boomtown began? Could we be in for a time loop in 2025 that links back up to the start? Given the sexy nature of Boomtown and venues like Slime Time and the Red Rash Inn, perhaps it won't begin again with a big bang, but instead, a Nicholas boom. I'm the King of Hearts. Bye.